Netgear AC797 promises fast 4G LTE up to 400 Mbps, an all-day 11-hour battery, and unlocked global compatibility. Either we've reached portable internet freedom, or we're staring at another case of tech roulette. On paper, it's AC1200 Wi-Fi, 2930 mAh battery, and world-ready SIM flexibility for 109.49 with a 3.8-star rating. Sounds criminally generous for the price, but here's the thing: specs can flatter, towers don't. What caught my attention were those speed and battery headlines, plus the claim it works with any network except Sprint Legacy. I actually lived with this hotspot for 2 weeks across city, suburbs, and a highway road trip, stress testing streaming, video calls, and gaming. I've put the direct link to check current pricing in the description, but before you click anything, let me show you what I discovered after 2 weeks of testing. Here's what the AC797 claims to do, straight from the marketing. Deliver up to 400 Mbps 4G LTE download speeds. Keep you connected and protected anywhere with your own secure WLAN. Let multiple devices stay productive on AC1200 dual-band Wi-Fi. Work on most 3G 4G LTE networks worldwide using your provider's SIM, excluding Sprint Legacy, with up to 11 hours of battery life. Sounds solid for travelers and remote workers, right? Pretty bold claims for a budget hotspot, but here's where things get interesting. Reality check. They claim 400 Mbps. What you actually get is highly variable, usually 2120 Mbps in real life. Here's why: 400 Mbps on 4G requires excellent signal, the right bands, carrier aggregation, high-order modulation, and minimal congestion. In my city tests on AT&T and T-Mobile SIMs, peak downlink hovered around 96-128 Mbps near a downtown macro cell at 10 a.m. off-peak. Move to a busy shopping area at 6 p.m. and it dropped to 2255 Mbps. Suburbs with weaker signal, 835 Mbps. That's not bad for general use, but it's nowhere near 400 except under near-perfect conditions. Here's where it gets mathematically impossible for many users. If your local tower only offers 10-15 MHz of spectrum on the bands this unit aggregates and your signal quality, RSRP/RSRQ, isn't great, you'll never sniff those headline speeds. They claim all-day battery up to 11 hours. What you actually get is 6-9 hours under realistic mixed use. Here's why: the 2930 mAh pack is fine for light browsing, but sustained 4G plus 5 GHz Wi-Fi taxes it. In my tests, a day of Slack, Google Docs, 3 hours of Zoom, and some Spotify across 5 devices drained it in about 7 hours. On a lighter travel day with email and maps, it stretched to just under 9. If you run it as a tethered modem for a laptop and phone hotspotting all day, bring a power bank. It charges over micro USB, not USB-C, and trickle charging while in use is slow. They claim works with any network minus Sprint Legacy. Reality: it's unlocked, but activation and band compatibility still matter. Here's the plot twist: Verizon often wants the IMEI on their whitelist for LTE data-only devices. AT&T BYOD was straightforward after APN tweak. T-Mobile worked but required an APN change for full-speed data. If you just pop in a SIM and expect instant magic, you might get no data until you adjust settings in the web UI. Internationally, roaming bands vary. It worked in my test with an EU prepaid SIM, but don't assume rural bands or carrier aggregation match everywhere. They hint at AC1200 Wi-Fi. Reality: the Wi-Fi is stable but not a range monster. In a small apartment, 5 GHz delivered 200 plus Mbps LAN throughput within one room, but one wall over it dipped to 90-120. On 2.4 GHz, range improved, but speeds dropped to the 30-60 Mbps range. For hotel rooms and car rides, it's great. For covering a multi-room Airbnb, it's just okay. And yes, you can connect multiple devices. I pushed 11 simultaneously: 2 laptops, 3 phones, 2 tablets, a TV stick, smart speaker, and 2 IoT bits. Browsing was fine. 2 1080p streams plus a Zoom call made it sweat during evening congestion. But wait, there's more. Security is solid for a travel hotspot. WPA2, guest network option, admin portal with password and QR code sharing. Yet here's what nobody tells you: the tiny status screen is not a touchscreen, and most real settings live in the web admin or Netgear mobile app. It's simple once set, but first-time users may fumble APNs and band steering. Speed and Wi-Fi performance. In head-to-head tests against a phone hotspot on the same SIM, the AC797 was 10–30% more consistent for Zoom and Teams, likely due to better RF management when stationary. Compared to a higher-end Netgear Nighthawk 5G unit, this was slower, obviously, but used less power and ran cooler. LAN throughput over 5 GHz was solid in room. Latency averaged 35–55 ms on urban towers, spiking to 80–120 ms during congestion. Casual gaming like Rocket League worked, Twitch shooters did not. Battery life? My controlled loop test 1080p YouTube on a tablet, Slack on a laptop, Spotify on a phone, all on 5 GHz averaged 7 hours 12 minutes to shut down. On 2.4 GHz with one device, it hit 9 hours 6 minutes. Idle on and connected, it sips power. Charging from 10% to full over the included micro USB took about 2.53 hours. That's the hidden cost of micro USB, slower top-up and a cable you probably stopped carrying. Build and ports, compact, pocketable with a small status display that's bright enough outdoors. No Ethernet port. No obvious external antenna connectors on the 100 NAS unit, which means rural users can't easily boost signal with a MIMO antenna. The plastic shell is sturdy, buttons are clicky, SIM tray is fine. It feels like a travel tool, not a flagship gadget. Compatibility and setup. Unlocked means flexibility, not zero friction. I had to set APNs manually for T-Mobile and an EU SIM. Verizon needed a chat to register IMEI. The admin UI is clean and Netgear's app helps, but first setup takes 10 minutes if you're new to hotspots. Review mining backs this up. The positive notes praise reliability once configured. The 1–2-star reviews usually involve carrier activation headaches or unrealistic speed expectations. Buy with caution. If you want a dependable 4G travel hotspot for emails, video calls, and streaming up to 1080p, the AC797 delivers within the limits of your local towers. Pros: compact, unlocked, decent real-world speeds, secure Wi-Fi, fair battery for the size, and a reasonable $109.49 price. Cons: no 5G, micro USB charging, no Ethernet or easy external antenna option, and that 400 Mbps headline is fantasy for most. Worth it if you need a budget-friendly, carrier-flexible 4G box today. Skip this if you live rural and need antenna options, or if you want future-proof 5G. For heavy-duty use, save your money for a Nighthawk M1, M5, M6, or a 5G hotspot. Thanks for watching. If this review saved you from wasting money or helped you find something actually worth buying, I've put the link to check current pricing and read more reviews in the description. And hey, if you do decide to buy through my link, it helps fund these investigations without costing you extra. Got questions about carrier compatibility or want me to test this against a 5G budget hotspot? Drop a comment. Next up, the best travel routers that fix terrible hotel Wi-Fi. Stay savage out there.